Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be joining you today to share all the tips and tricks to write a perfect convincing motivational letter. Today I will be sharing a bunch of tips which can help you write that perfect motivation letter. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Shaima and I make videos related to Germany. I have a full-time job and a family to look after, so at times it definitely gets a little difficult for me to manage work, house chores, and YouTube at the same time. And that has also been one of the reasons why I could not post a new video for such a long time. I'm extremely sorry for that. But here I am once again back with another exciting video. So without any further delay, let's start with the video for today. In today's video, I will be talking about motivation letter. Before I even start with that, let me clear you that cover letter and motivation letter are not the same things. These are two different documents. Motivation letter is also known as statement of purpose. However, as already mentioned, it is not the same thing as cover letter. There is a slight difference in both these documents. Starting with the cover letter, it is a very simple letter where you mention all the documents you will be submitting in order to support your application. In this letter, you do not mention the purpose or your aim of study. The main purpose of cover letter is to give a structure to your application. It helps the admission committee to get an idea or overview what they should expect from what you're handing them in. In simple words, you can say it is a kind of a summary or maybe a nutshell of all the documents you're handing. You simply have to mention what documents you're handing in without going further in details. So you do not have to explain each and every document individually. You simply just have to name them. Now coming to motivation letter, also known as statement of purpose. In my previous video, I had already mentioned that letter of motivation is the most important document when it comes to convincing the admission committee. I had also mentioned that your GPA might be excellent, but if you fail to convince with your motivation letter, believe me, you might end up getting rejected. So my advice would be to really put your heart and soul in writing this piece of paper. Now coming to what should your motivation look like and what information you should definitely add in to leave a good impression on the admission committee. This letter is nothing else than selling yourself as a perfect student. In other words, it is all about you. It tells each and everything about your profile, your goals, your aims, why you choose this particular study program, what makes you the perfect candidate for it, why should the university choose you over all those other students, and so on. In your motivation letter, you can also briefly mention your future plans. I can only recommend to give yourself enough time with writing it because it will definitely take some time writing something this important. This document shows the admission committee who you are as a person. Therefore, it should be strictly about you and your interests, and you cannot submit something which is very general. Do not write any aspects of your CV, and because you have already done that in your CV, so what's the point of repeating? The next advice I would like to give you is to invest some time doing research about the study program you are going to apply for. And while writing your motivation letter, be very specific about your goals and aims. If you have ever worked in an NGO or a student organization, or you have either been politically active, it can also bring you some extra points. Mentioning of any extracurriculum activities always leaves a good impression. Also mention why you want to study in Germany in particular. What is different about the study course offered in Germany than the one offered in your home country? You should definitely write about your goals and aims after you have finished your studies. And it would be very impressive if you could come up with reasons how you will be contributing to the society once you are done with your studies. So basically, how your studies will benefit Germany or even your home country once you are done with your studies. The second thing is the length. When writing the letter, keep in mind it is not a storybook or a novel. I have also come across motivation letters which were 4 or even 5 pages long. This is way too long. My advice is to keep it simple and to the point. Do not drag yourself. Try to limit yourself to one and maximum 1.5 pages, and it should not be more than 500 words. Believe me, no one has the time to read 4 or 5 pages long motivation letter. So make it short, to the point. Make it easier for the admission committee to choose you and not difficult. If you have this long letter, nobody really cares to read it through. You might have something written very important on end of page 2, but no one will ever get to know that because no one will ever read it. You should remember that there are so many international students applying every semester from all around the world. So it is a ridiculous amount of work to read all those motivation letters. And at times, the admission committee does not even read one full page. They simply go through the first few lines just to get an idea. So my next suggestion would be to start with something which immediately grabs their attention, and then later on you can write about less important stuff. So start with the most important, end with the least important. Structure your letter, start with a brief introduction, followed by the main part, and then a short conclusion. I would recommend to use font size 11, and the fonts I would normally go with is either Times New Roman, Arial, Bookman, or Tahuma. And as already said, make sure the first few lines are highly impressive and can keep anyone's attention so that they actually end up reading the whole thing. It is always a good idea to start with a catchy phrase or statement because most of the motivation letters start almost the same. Starting with a catchy phrase or quote will already make it different than all the rest. And remember, the phrase or the quote has to be related to the field or the subject you are applying for. So yes, another advice I would give you is to double check for any grammar mistakes or any spelling mistakes because it definitely leaves a very bad impression. It would be wonderful if you could ask any teacher, your friend, or maybe a family member who could go through it once to check for any grammar mistakes or any spelling mistakes. I would make sure to give them my letter for a quick check. These are very minor things, but they leave a huge impact on the admission committee, so do keep them in mind. That was it for today's video. I know the video has been a little long today and there has been immense amount of information and tips, but if you keep all the points in mind while writing your motivation letter, I am sure nothing can go wrong. I wish you all the very best for your application. For any further questions or confusions, feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section below. That was it for now. Hope my video was useful for you. If it was, please leave me a thumbs up so that I get to know my efforts are being appreciated. I will try my best and be consistent in posting a new video every week maybe. If studying and living in Germany is something which interests you, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you do not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you know someone who wants to come to Germany for work or study purpose, feel free to share my channel with them. I will highly appreciate it. I wish you all a very happy weekend. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you have been giving me. I will see you next week with another video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.